I would love to congratulate this week's winners on the massive game giveaway. If you're interested in participating in the next giveaway, please check out the description below. All the links are there and all the instructions are there as well.
Welcome everyone to State of the Game for the 27th of April 2017. I think we have to say 2017 just in case we come back. Anyway, you will see down below that we've got a couple of things to talk about today. Acronym heavy, PTS, and ETF. Yeah, it's kind of the flavor for today.
Yeah.
The PTS was updated this morning?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We released what we call PTS 2, which is the second iteration with a few more changes that have been listed on the patch notes on the forums. I think you can still type !patch notes and you will get a link to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so some of the main changes that we did in there, there's a bunch of bug fixes. That's one bug fixes count. But yeah, on top of that, so some of the changes we did was based on the first PTS and also on things that people had been talking about for some time already and asking us to do. So for example, the HipFire, this has been a constant discussion for a very long time. People were recently especially complaining about HipFire, or the auto-aim with a controller, or the aim assist with a controller when hip-firing, which is absolutely kind of counterproductive because hip-fire should not be accurate. And
that's kind of
the aim assist on hip-fire when using a controller is gone. There used to be an aim assist when you're using a controller on hip-fire. This is gone. You won't get an aim assist anymore. The next thing we wanted to mention was Nimble. With the first PTS, we changed Nimble as we had announced by changing the heal you get from Nimble from a direct heal to a heal over time, and also making it that you actually have to stay in the destination cover in order to get your heal. And that was a bit like after, I mean, we've seen people playing and trying it on the PTS. We've tried it ourselves. And yeah, that was just a bit too much.
I think it slowed down gameplay a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
It kind of, you'd end up in the cover and you'd be like, oh, okay, now I can play again. I kind of like it. It's, I see Demonic in chat saying Nimble unnerf incoming. I think it's kind of in the middle. Like we have this happy medium now where it's changed so you can't just bounce around covers and get like infinitely healed.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, you can, but you have to not take damage in that time.
So the change for those who haven't read the patch note is that now we stick to Nimble being a heal over time. That's something we don't want to change. You won't get the health directly. It's going to be an overtime on 4 seconds, but you don't have to stay in cover anymore. So you can use Nimble, go to another cover, and your heal over time begins, and then you can, live your life and be happy and do other things. You don't have to actually stay in the cover to get the heal effect.
Yep.
And the last thing, and that one is obviously going to be debated, is the airburst, airburst Seeker Mine. So we had announced for some time already, actually. I think it must have been like a few State of the Games that we had said that we were going to do something about it. And the plan was to move some of the damage from burst damage into the fire effect.
And so you continue. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, this was what we announced we would do. We also said we would change the stagger or remove the stagger. The stagger is gone, but the damage wasn't moved. And we said in the first patch notes, in the patch notes for PTS 1, we announced that the damage was moved. This was a mistake. It wasn't moved actually on PTS 1.
Yeah.
And it turns out that we're actually, so far, we're quite happy that way. And that doesn't mean it's never going to change. And I know that a lot of people were hoping for this change to happen because they think that Seeker Mine and Airburst is still too strong. And it could be. But right now, we definitely want to take it very slowly and be very careful with nerfing it, because we don't want to nerf it to the ground and then regret it later and have to come back. So we'll take small incremental steps and just like do it little by little. So far, we're quite happy with where it's at now by not changing the damage, just removing the stagger. We also modified the fire effect that you get from Airburst. So now it's actually a real status effect fire, which means it can be cleansed by the player if you receive it, if you survive the burst, of course. So yeah.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. We expecting Sam Jackson show up with an eye patch and a saucy little leather number? Go.